So this is what my data looked like after I pushed my iOLAB device into my iPod. You can see here that I have my force versus time plot on the top and my velocity versus time plot on the bottom. So the first thing I want you guys to note is if you look at your force versus time plot and at the beginning line, ask yourself if it's actually at 0. So I can see from mine that it's not actually at the 0 mark, and that's important. I need it to be on the 0 mark. So in order to fix that, what you will want to do is highlight the beginning section and then hit ReZero Sensor. Then you can see that that line jumped up to the 0 mark, so now it's actually at 0. The next thing that I would suggest is to go into zoom mode and horizontally zoom in on your force peak. So now I can more clearly see the peak. If you look on the bottom plot, I could also more clearly see where the velocity goes from being negative to being positive. I'm also going to zoom in vertically a little bit on that. So what you will want to do for the force versus time plot is carefully highlight the area under the curve, and then if you look at the A value, that's what the value that you want to look at. So if you think about this, the area under the curve is kind of like the integral, and so what we're finding when we're doing the area under the curve is actually the impulse, because it's the force times the time. So this is what we're doing in order to find the impulse. While we're also in analysis mode, what you can do is highlight a section where the iOLAB device is traveling in the negative direction before it hits the iPod, and you can use the mean to get the initial velocity. Then you could also highlight a section after it has collided with the iPod, and you can use the mean again in order to get the final velocity. Then what you can do is calculate the change in velocity, use the mass in order to find the change in momentum, and then compare the change in momentum to the impulse. So that's what you're going to do in the second part of the lab. So good luck and have fun.